Here we go, and we are live. A little bit of housekeeping here. Let me pop over and get this shared to social media. And let's see who the first one in chat is today. We will share to Twitter. Yeah, I love the days when I can start actually scheduling them out and have it set up ahead of time, and get all the notifications out before the video starts. Just with my lunch schedules, I don't know exactly when that's going to be. Let's see, clip that. And let's get all of our tags out there. The stream is running, right? Oh, got a like already, so I know it's up and running. So let's go ahead and pop over. AMC is seeing a pullback today, and this was to be expected on a lower volume week. It's a shorter trading week. Markets are closed on Friday, so a little bit of this was to be expected. What this means for the options market, this pullback, though, I know there were people who had calls that they were looking at for ending tomorrow. And we're on the put side of the house. Let's jump back over to single on calls. So yeah, the call side of the house is not looking as good. Anytime you see a pullback, share price comes down. Of course, your premiums will come down. And instead of these running out till Friday, middle of the week, but we only have one more trading day left tomorrow, so Theta's going to be ramped up. These are going to lose value. Same thing on PROG. We see PROG's having a pullback. It has broken through this lower channel. Was set up on PROG to have two channels, as a buying zone and a selling zone. Well, it's ran down. It's actually tagged underneath the bottom of that selling zone, which means it's definitely at a discount right now, and that is I love buying at discount. Just waiting for some options to play out and to free up some capital, and that's when I'll look towards buying more PROG shares. I haven't really had a chance to check too much on what's going on the market today, but here we got S&P 500. It is looking really good today. Had a nice run up earlier in the day and has leveled out in the afternoon. Now with the S&P 500, because it has contracts that end 3 days out of the week, there is a set of options ending today, and there's also an additional set of options that are ending tomorrow. And you'll see that on the S&P 500, you'll see it on the Qs, and you'll see it on the Russell 2000. There are a couple other indexes that run options that end multiple times per week. Just kind of bouncing between multiple screens here. Been hearing a lot of exciting things on Shib. That is a nice little run up right there. Anyone who's been sitting on Shib and seeing that rundown, this is definitely good news. Seeing buyers step in, seeing the price coming back up. Got just shy of 3,800. I think we saw this not too long ago. Yeah, we are still down from the end of November, and that was most of the cryptos on the market did see a pullback. I know I saw gains coming on a few of them, but for the most part, crypto's just been down, and waiting for excitement to step back in. So what is everyone up to? I know today I left for work and it was, I believe, -8 degrees out. And I'm certainly glad temperatures have gotten back above zero. We're still below freezing. Chances are we'll be below freezing till springtime. Let us see. Do. Yeah, just one of those midday, middle of the day, not much volume going on. I mean, let's look at AMC. Where is the daily volume? AMC volume's right about 26 million. Which is definitely low volume. Reports say average volume's right about 67 million. So, we're halfway through the day and we're a little bit above third of that volume. And it'd be nice to see buyers stepping in, but it's the holiday time. It's to be expected that we're not going to see as much money in the market. And this was I'd mentioned in previous streams, this is something you just kind of have to be on the lookout for, prepare for it. As much as we like it, not every day can be a green day, and certainly looking across the broader market, I don't have the Ortex data, but there's certainly the possibility of shorting, because looking at the SPY, the Q, JNK, which is looking at bonds, looking at real estate, everybody else is looking to be up. I don't actually have the Russell 2000 on there, so let me go ahead and pull up the Russell. And so yeah, it does look like AMC today, looking at the price action, could be getting shorted. I see AMC and PROG are both down, but the rest of the market, except for some specific sectors, the rest of the market is having a really good day. It's a lower volume day across the market. Let me check and see. S&P 500. S&P 500's only traded 30 million so far today. So, AMC only being 6 million shares under the S&P 500, but the major indices, they're all moving up, which tells us that today is one of those instances where it appears to be directed at the meme stocks. So of course we got AMC and PROG on the screen. We can check some of the others. I believe BB. BlackBerry's just, this looks like day trading back and forth. BBIG, I believe, was another one of the favorites of people. Yeah, same thing. BBIG, they're seeing a push down today. We looked at PROG. Not really too sure. I know there's a list of meme stocks out there. I just don't pay attention to most of them. We'll definitely look at GameStop here and see how they're doing. Now looking at, GameStop has just had, major push down. And their volume, just reinforcing, they're just over 650,000 volume today, so This is just, not too much excitement in the market, and I think, with the lower volume, any hedge funds that do happen to have shares that they borrowed for shorting on a low volume day, it makes sense to use it, because when there's lower volume, any downward pressure that they put on the stocks is going to be amplified by the fact that there's not as much buying pressure stepping in. And that was part of the reason why lately, until after the holidays, why I've been avoiding doing some options trading, just because after the initial push down from the end of November into December, we had 3 weeks straight where every day was just a bloodbath. We were getting beat down every day. So it just kind of made sense to avoid the options. You can pick up some great deals, and if some excitement comes in the market and it runs up, yeah, you can cash out, do some quick day trades, do some swing trades. But overall, the market just right now for trading options, it is a dangerous place. And yeah, looking, of course, you have the high volatility at market open. That first 15 minutes to half hour, you're always going to see a lot of volatility. That's prices bounce all over. A lot of moves are made. Pending orders from the night before, because you can go on brokerages and put in limit orders, and most of them will be executed at market open. Well, that's a lot of these being executed early. That's a lot of higher volatility. But after that, you see it got pushed down. Some people recognized, hey, this could have been a lot of day traders coming in, seeing the low prices and large orders coming in, driving the price back up. But once all that excitement of the early day wore out, I'll say you see it goes back to hardly any volume. All these super tiny candles in here. What are we looking at here for volume? 600 volume, 500. Yeah, there's not too much excitement on there, and that of course made it to where once selling pressure came in, they just stepped the stock down. Looking at these two candles and these two, that's where a majority of the downward pressure came in, and once they had that downward pressure, once they had the momentum going, they pushed it down, and it's down far enough, and they might have just ran out of gas here, and it might just trade sideways or be on a slightly descending channel for the rest of the day. But yeah, certainly more volume on AMC. We're going to jump back over on the 5-minute. So it did have the ascending channel marked out in gold, and was looking for us to, was hoping that would kind of set us up for a trend, and we'd follow that up into, up into the mid-30s by the end of the week and continue climbing out of the basement here. So at this point, with the breakthrough on the ascending channel, I would be looking towards seeing if we hold up above the support level. We got the narrow support channel. In fact, I accidentally, when I was moving, grabbed that the other day. But yeah, we had the thin channel, and if that holds up, otherwise we can see if there's a little bit of a breakthrough. And this 2250 is the is that hard line that really held up when they pushed down, except for the punch through. But yeah, anyone have anything they want to check out? And since we're here in the live stream and got all the charts up, if anyone has anything they want to look at or have any questions, I'm just going to kind of pop around and look at some of these, kind of look at the options for next week. I doubt I'll enter into anything, but it never hurts to look. You might see at a moment of strength or moment of weakness that there's a good opportunity to jump in, grab a little bit of quick cash, and get out of it. Still very narrow as far as selling covered calls, because I normally like, you can't even see up at the 45, 46 range that I usually like to be at. Can't even see them on the chart, even with it built out to 30 options showing. And all of these are just way, way too dangerous with how fast. If we caught a nice tailwind and the prices started to run up, these are definitely, it's good money if the stock continues to trade sideways, but at any time, we could start on a bull run. And we've seen, we've seen that 20% run fairly recently. So, it wouldn't be too much for these to be in danger of next Friday, of losing your shares, of getting exercised on and having your shares called away. Now we still are looking good. Pop over to the other side on the bull puts. Wait for this to fill out. So yeah, these 24.25s and 25.26s, these are the ones I was kicking around the idea of getting into. I still want to see, how well we hold up, because we had that the ascending channel, and we have actually, we broke through, but we have not touched the support lines yet. So if we can rebound and keep above the support lines, then I'll certainly feel more comfortable about opening up the low end of the option chain as far as the bull put spreads go. But yeah, so not too much excitement in the market today. I do kind of wonder, we're seeing a lot of action on the SPY. Been seeing a lot of buying pressure coming in since, what was that? Right about midday on Monday, just seeing tons of buying pressure. I'm wondering if the SP 500 might be setting up for a downward run. So looking at the SPY, go 9 days out. Single option. We're going to look at some puts on. Some puts on the SPY. Normally when I play the SPY, I play calls, and I like to go about 9 to 10 days out, $2 above the current strike price. If I see on calls, if I see it $2 above, as far as the cost of the contracts, that's usually the formula I use for day trading. And just you want to go a little bit further out, just so you're not getting hit by theta as much. But here, looking at these, we're looking to, some of these $18 to $23 a day you would be losing in theta, and that just, that looks dangerous. But if you get the price movement because of how much the value is on the S&P 500, these deltas, that is for $1 movement. So if it dipped down $1, even looking at these 464 puts, if you bought in on those for right about $325 a contract, and you look at them, and you look, there is a lot of interest on these puts right here. If it drops down $1, your contract's gaining $41, and if it does that within a day, basically, you'd be making 50% over, a 50% differential between your theta and your delta. So those are, if you're looking, and if you figure, if the SPY did turn and started to run back, that'd be a good way to pick up a little quick cash on a day trade. But looking at yeah, on the S&P 500, calls are looking dangerous right now, just because it's been on such a good run up, and that would be kind of chasey, and chasing is usually a bad thing. I don't like chasing them when they're running, and if you look at the S&P 500, it is a pretty decent run. Granted, looking on the 1 minute, it's pulling back and stabilizing. Oh, and there we've got a bot in chat. Vum.ung. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Wrestler. Nice having a mod in chat. Yes, I'm still long on Prog Wrestler. Pull it up right here. That can't. If we look on Prog, I actually have a double channel built out, and this is the same double channel that I've been running for a while. And pretty much, just going off this, it shows, where my buy zone is and where my sell zone is. So if you're in the lower channel, that of course is your buy zone. 292. Yeah, see, your average right now is actually you're actually above what I'd be looking at for a sell zone. So yeah, your line would actually be right up about there. So yeah, you're actually at the top of my sell zone. If you note it, if you look at this, ever since beginning of December when we got pushed down, we've been running between these two channels pretty consistently, and that's why I was looking for Prog to kind of turn into a waveform. Try to get predictive to where it'll dip down, hit the low end where you're buying, and as it runs back up and tags right about this 290 mark to sell. And then wait to see if it comes back down. Try and get it. Watch your MACD and everything. Watch your RSI to try and look for when it's going to turn around and start running back down. Right now, I just don't have I don't have the free capital that I need to buy more shares right now. As soon as I get some. I have options the last of my options across the board will be resolved tomorrow. So I'll have more capital. So depending upon how tomorrow goes and looking to see, yeah, it's definitely going to rip back up. That's why I'm, that's when you compare, if you look at AMC on my technical analysis, I've got a couple channels. I've got the upper channel. I've got the support lines in. But when you look at Prog, I have an on-screen built plan on how exactly I'm going to be trading shares until it rips. No, I don't want to sell any of my AMC shares. And secondly, I would not share. I would not sell at a loss. I don't like. When it comes to shares, I don't like taking losses on selling shares. Now, if we were in the the $45-50 range, yeah, maybe, and I would feel bad about it. Maybe sell like one or two shares and call it. That's all I'm going to sell because. Because I don't want to. I work towards building up 100 share blocks on AMC, and anytime I'm in between, if I've got my average on AMC, I think my average is just below 40. Let me get in here and look. My average is 38.40 is my average on AMC. Because I end up doing a lot of buying on the dip. My average was around 40. I think it was like $39.98 or $39.96 or something like that. But with all the sales that have been going on, I've just been I got aggressive with some options, made a little bit of money, and was able to jump in and buy a whole bunch more shares, which is just my steady plan. Most of what I'm doing is just to get more 100 share blocks. That way, when covered calls open back up again, I try to only do 25-30% of my position into options, and have the rest of it standing by waiting, because I don't want to miss out on the don't want to miss out on AMC going to the moon. And because I set stop losses, especially on my AMC covered calls, I set 25 to 30% stop losses. Well, the more contracts you have, that's more capital you have to have on standby to protect your share count. So having that 25 to 30%, or 25 to 30% of your position in covered calls, it is risky, but it's a lot less riskier than your entire position or half your position. But it just means that I've got to have capital on standby. So I do miss out on plays because I don't have free capital. I've got regular capital, but it's not free capital. So, oh man, if AMC taps 19, the trouble with that, AMC tapping 19 could actually trigger the MOAS. The problem is, aside from this dip down we had to 2130, and this dip down only accounts for 15 minutes. I think I opened it up, and that we were only below that. We were only down in that range for 15 minutes. Other than that, this 2250 has been just holding up really, really well. But yeah, if we ran down and touched 19, we would see so many buyers stepping in that it probably would trigger the MOAS. Oh yeah, at $19, yeah, I'll be buying more at that point, yeah. Oh, that's why it looked weird, because we're on PROG, not on AMC. There we go. I was wondering why that looked weird. Yeah, there's the 2250 on PROG. I was wondering why it was hovering, why it didn't look like it was supposed to look. You got 3K. 3K is definitely a good amount to have on standby, and you're saving that just in case it does run down to opportunity money. Yeah, got that on standby just in case it does run down to 19. Because yeah, that would definitely help your share count out a bunch. Yeah, unfortunately, I never anything really any play. Yeah. Let's see. You said you're at. Let me. I think a lot of people, and I'm including them right now for PROG. I am. First of all, I don't have the best luck in the world when it comes to PROG options. But I think a lot of people are just scared of PROG right now. And CRSR. Yeah, let me have a look at. I'll pull that up real quick. Oh, Corsair. Yeah, online gaming. Is this like isn't Corsair kind of like DraftKings? I know I've heard this one mentioned before. Huge run up. Yeah, I remember hearing about this one before. Had a run up to almost $43 and then got pushed down. It's hovering right about 20. Now, is this CRSR? Is this a short squeeze play? Because I don't have Ortex, so I can't just pull up Ortex numbers on it. But as far as a long term play, so it looks like it went public. Was it September of last year? October somewhere? Yeah, September of last year. Yeah, anything online gambling, Corsair, DraftKings, any of them like that. A lot of those. It's just like the marinara industry. You're just waiting on a lot of this. You're waiting on legislation to come through, and a lot of these online gaming in the long term. I think certainly if you can get it at a good price, and if you're just looking for shares, yeah, it's definitely a good place to be. Same thing with the marinara industry. If you, I own shares in Tilray. I've looked at the MJ, which is the ETF that tracks that sector. It just something about it I can't. Looking at it, it's been getting pushed down, and I think it was actually the expense ratio was another thing. I think it was expensive to be managed, and I don't remember the dividend on it, because a lot of the long term plays that I have, I get into because of their dividends, because I like getting paid extra on the side. So I'm checking right now. Yeah, so looking at it, their dividends were all over the place, and we're talking. So it's a quarterly dividend, meaning dividend comes out every 3 months, and we're talking, just this year, even going back to last year. So 10 cent per share, 28 cent, 18 cent, 10 cent, 2 cent, and then the last two have been 6 cents each. So as far as the dividend goes, and looking at the expense ratio, this was not a good play for me. So that's why I go Tilray instead for that sector. Now it has been getting pushed down a bit, and again it all goes down to are you looking for a long-term play or short-term play? Well, the longer I'm in it and the more shares I accumulate, they can keep driving the share price down. But as soon as we see, national legalization, a lot of these companies, the share prices are just gonna, it's gonna be a runaway train. And I'd rather be on board than trying to catch, a rocket as it's trying to take off. That's, you get too chasey at that point. And it's the same thing with online gambling. So let's get back. We'll jump back over to Corsair, and let's kind of look and see calls. Because I love them so much, let's look at bull puts. And there really is no low end, not much of a low end built on this. And it does not have weeklies, so anything you would do as far as options, it's going to be monthly options. So these contracts would require, you would have to put up $250 collateral on these contracts. That is pretty spendy when you're looking at a month, having your money tied up for a month, and to give yourself a safe buffer, because right now this is, you're already splitting. You're in between your two contracts. So I always like to be out of the money with both my contracts when I'm doing bull puts. So for the next step down, you're locking up $250 and you're only collecting $30 of premium. It's, right now, if I was going to be playing Corsair, I would strictly shares. I would avoid options on it, just because it doesn't have the weeklies, doesn't have the flexibility. And if you look at the open interest, especially on these bull puts, there aren't that many contracts out. That's a month away. If we go to single options on the call side of the house, just looking at the option chain on Corsair, not a lot of excitement. And in order to get any kind of fun has a hold rating, yeah, we'll jump over there just a minute. So let's check in May. Yeah, it's just there's not much excitement on Corsair. Fun, I pretty much already know what we're going to be looking at. It had that huge spike. It's going to be a huge spike and then a whole bunch of nothing. And there's a huge spike. On the 30-minute, looks like there was a little bit of excitement earlier in the month. Huge gap up, got beat down, gap down. Worked, started to fill that gap back up. Had another run, and it's back down again. Oh yeah, I think fun is still, if I remember correct. What was the deal on this play? Isn't this one attached to DWAC? Is it attached? Because I don't remember this being a short squeeze play. If I remember correct, it was a SPAC related to DWAC. When is the Quesh? Oh, when is the question? Yeah. And the real question is, did they catch their support? Is that right there at right about 285? Is that going to be their support that's going to hold up? Because we can do the same thing with fun that we did with that I did with PROG. So looking through, and I'm actually looking back over on this zone right here. So let's kind of split. We've got this little shelf right here. We got this shelf right here. So let's go just above those shelves. Drop another zone right there because we're also catching a little bit right there. It trades in sympathy, DWAC, Bean, and Mark. Okay. And let's build another zone. We're looking right here on this stack. It did have a punch through, but I'm looking more for this to hold up because I see it also did the same thing here. And I don't like running off spikes because spikes can be as a result of, either, day traders running up, pumping it, and getting out, or it just being, slammed down. So I would, much like what I set up on PROG, for fun, I would kind of look to see, if you were looking to do day trading or swing trading as far as just shares are concerned. Right now we're in a buy channel, and if this holds up, if we can continue to see this pattern, We hit through low, we get to the lower end of this buy channel, and if it runs back up and hits, hits on these spikes, yeah, if you're playing shares only, look for it to run up, hit one of those spikes, sell off some of the position and wait to see, because if it runs up and everyone's playing as they've been playing, because we see, spike up, beat down, spike up, beat down, spike up, beat down. If you see it punch through on another spike, sell some of your shares, wait for it to run back down and buy back in, and it all depends on where your average is. Because it's the perfect example running over and looking at PROG. I have it marked on the screen where my share price average is. So if you're looking to do any kind of rhythmic trading, any kind of, if you're going to set up double channels like this and set up to, when it runs down, tags the bottom, buy shares. When it runs up, tags the top, sell shares. It's always nice to put your average in there. That way you can see, on the fly, because I don't do my trading on Webull, but I have it set up to where on here I can see where my average is, and that'll tell me, that tells me my buy indicator or my sell indicator. And I always want to sell above what my average is. And of course, as I get more capital and as I buy more shares, my average will keep lowering down. And that's where it starts to get tricky. You start pushing your average down lower and lower to the bottom of this bottom of the buy channel. You may dip into the buy channel, but if your average is below, of course you're going to be buying and pulling your average back up. So your average, kind of bounding within, bounding close to this middle zone. That could be, could be a really good way to make a little bit extra, especially, if you've got a couple hundred shares, and rather than entering in the wheel strategy, where you're selling covered calls, get exercised, and then buy cash secured puts, you're going to be earning a little bit of premium there. It's not going to be much, especially, looking at the value of PROG. So on the call side of the house, and this is, these are the calls for next week. Well, you'd end up, if you can get a fill at $10, or, depending on your brokerage, if they average up to the nearest 5 cent $5 increment, you could enter into a cover call. This is the 250 mark. So if it ran up and tagged it, your shares would sell, you'd collect $250 for the contract. You'd collect additional $10, and then you'd have to turn around and bounce to the other side and start doing puts. Well, your puts again are only $10, and that's only if they get exercised. So you could be sitting there, dragging week after week, just collecting $10 a premium and not getting exercised, not getting those flipped, as opposed to going in and doing it manually. So we'll look at the worst candle in this zone. Yeah, we're still in the 30-minute. So we're looking at 262, and then come down to this zone, 245. You're already looking at more money just off doing a manual swing or a manual day trade than you are for a week-long covered call or cash secured put. And that's just, part of the reason why I'm stepping away from options on PROG right now. And I just don't do that well on PROG. It'd be a lot better doing swing and day trades on the shares themselves. So yeah, let's check some of those other ones here for you. We'll look at DWAC. I have no problem with pulling any stock up. If someone wants to see need fund to rip, yeah. I know a lot of people need fund to rip. Fund has a lot of bag holders, and everyone got caught in the excitement, and that was just perfect example of them pumping the stock up and then leaving a bunch of bag holders. Yep, same thing. Same thing on here on DWAC. Granted, it looks like DWAC, they did have the push down. And this is the after Thanksgiving. Yep, this was the full market push down we saw. A couple good gaps in there, had a run up and back stabilized. Might be running in a little channel right here between 47.50, just eyeballing, and 54. Kind of a little channel developed there. So that was DWAC. Same thing. Oh, wait a minute. This it had a recent run up. How far back out? Looks like this one has got a couple little pumps in there. It had the huge one in October. Yeah, no excitement, no excitement. Huge one in October. Had a little mini one right around Thanksgiving. And after Thanksgiving, went back to running sideways. A little bit of excitement in here. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of those. I see, when I see charts like that, I see a lot of bag holders at different places. And a remark. Yeah, a lot of these really do. Let's go out on the... Yeah, it looked like there was just a huge... I hate throwing the term around because it gets thrown around quite a bit, but it looks like it was just a huge group of pump and dumps. Pump and dumps with a lot of bag holders. Oh, that's bad when you get that far out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never got in on any of these. If I'm just not sure, from a technical analysis point of view, it doesn't look that good just looking at the graphs. I certainly hope it runs up enough to where a lot of people who are holding bags right now can get out and either make money or at least try to break even on it. And if I had the money to enter in, some free capital to enter in on fun, I still don't think I would enter in on it. I think the money would be better served looking at PROG. Should you average down on fun? Because as far as average, if you're looking to average down on fun, let me check I got just a few minutes. Oh, no. Wrong ticker. Fun, not fum. It all depends on what your first, how many shares of fun you have. A lot of selling on PROG. Yeah, I'll pop over and look at that. If you're talking about averaging down on fun, a lot of it depends on how many shares you have and what your average is. Well, your average cost is. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Because, of course, this is all just for entertainment and brain's not working, educational purposes. Yeah, in fact, PROG just got to the broke through oversold right now. If you look at the RSI has dipped below 30. It's at 28.39 right now. Yeah, I just wonder. I wonder how much of a discount they're gonna be giving PROG away for by the end of this. Oh, let's get. Now it looks. PROG has a lot of good fight going on today. I mean, it is running the bottom channel on RSI. It has dipped below my buy mark, which means it's at a discount right now. That candle right there, 250,000 shares on that candle. 168,000, 158,000. Yeah, some of these look like institutional day traders popping in. The one candle that concerns me is this the 250,000 shares right there. For me personally, my own opinion, my own account, if I had free capital that was not tied up in stop losses, I'm in a discount buy zone right now on PROG. I'll have one quick look at fun. I am fixing to have to jump off here. My lunch break is almost over. Yeah, whoa, yes, buyers are starting to step in on fun in the last few minutes. Decent volume there too. Back-to-back candles over 200,000. Yeah, people are definitely stepping in to buy. Well, it's at a pretty decent discount. But I am going to go ahead and wrap up the live stream for today. I've got to, I got to punch back into work. I am excited about next week though, because I'll be on vacation next week, which means I can do a whole bunch of streaming and a whole bunch of fun stuff on here. So thank you to everyone who stopped by and spent a little bit of time of their day here on the live stream. And not sure if I'll do an aftermarket live stream today. It's just not much going on in the market today. It is a slow week. And our favorite stocks are red. But I'll see you over on Clayro's stream, and hope that a lot of these positions, especially I remember you talking about fun before, and I hope you get a fun run going on and get back up and make money on that. But I will talk to you next time, and thanks for stopping by.